Hey everybody, this is Perch. What does an agent do? Well, if you're asking that question, what does an agent do? Then my first suggestion is don't worry about getting an agent right now. If you're in comics, first off, there's this kind of weird obsession that I've really picked up over the last 2 years, and the only thing I can think of is like a couple people in comics got agents. I remember Kelly Sue DeConnick actually did a post, kind of really pushing people like you need an agent, like you've got to get yourself an agent. And I mean, a lot of people who work in Hollywood, I mean, they have agents and other things, and the agent is meant to be a business emissary, a representative for you to both help you gain opportunities, to negotiate for you on your behalf, to help push for the best deal. The value of an agent is somebody who knows the business better than you do. You're the creative person. You're the person who has the story. You're the person who has the ideas. The agent is meant to abstract you from, first of all, a bunch of nonsense that is outside of your core competency. So one, it doesn't bother you, take away from your creative kind of your mission, your energy as a creator. But also, they're smarter than you in dealing with business. And so you don't have to learn how to go negotiate for yourself. You don't have to learn, what kind of attachments, what kind of things. You don't have to know the politics of a studio or a company that you're going into. The agent takes care of that. The agent knows it, and the agent works on your behalf to get you the best possible deal. That's why you pay them. In comics, I didn't realize this until more recently. Again, the idea of getting an agent seemed to become I don't know, a fad, or it became a popular thing to do. Like if you had an agent, then you could put in your Twitter bio, I am represented by, blank person. First off, by the way, just as a general clue, and keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who has very low opinions of Twitter as a medium of how influential it is. But every now and then I run across a comic writer, and it said, I'm represented by, this person, and you see the Twitter handle. And you click on that Twitter handle of the agent, and the agent has, says joined in September 2018 and is followed by 900 people. That's probably not a great agent. Just saying. Not that followers and all that kind of stuff means anything, but the purpose of the agent is to have a pretty good sense of what's going on in the industry, be plugged into a lot of things, be able to help you, again, negotiate a good deal, get good things on your behalf. If an agent is showing very little presence in the market, again, Twitter is not the be all end all, but then that person should be bringing, to you a long history. You should be looking at their LinkedIn. Do they have a long, track record of being a mover and shaker, somebody who can actually get things done? Again, I once went down the rabbit hole of chasing this person's agent, and I looked at Twitter. I'm like, oh, this person has very little history, very little influence here. Let's check out old LinkedIn. LinkedIn hadn't been updated in 3 years, and and the previous position that was shown there was assistant store manager of what I believe was a grocery store. Again, maybe these things don't really matter. Maybe in reality, in real life, this person is powerfully influential, and they don't feel the need to get involved in a bunch of social media kind of nonsense. However, part of being an agent is presenting a good and powerful, representation of themselves. And if they can't even be bothered to have their own online profile, online bio reflect somebody who is powerful and influential, then how well are they going to do for you? But an agent in comics, I mean, what should they do? One, they should be tied into who's hiring, who's got open pitches, who's looking for submissions. They should be able to tell you that, know that. They should be able to give you some market analysis. Here's what's selling, here's what doesn't. They should be able to tell you, here's publishers that might be looking for a YA pitch or a sci-fi pitch or whatever it happens to be, and here's how to do it. Here's kind of what they're looking for. Here's the basic structure. It started raining really hard. I apologize again if the noise is irritating there. Here's all the different pieces of where this can go when you're trying to submit your work. A good agent will negotiate rates on your behalf. You don't necessarily need to do that. The agent can come in and go, hey, I talked to the publisher. I think they were hoping to get it for $60 a page, but I can get 70. That's what a good agent can do. A good agent can also look for getting you points on the back end, royalties, kind of things to look out for when you're signing a deal. A good agent will be able to basically tell you, this is a good contract. Here's what you need to look out for. Here's where they're going to make money off you on the back end, and you should make sure you have a piece of that. That's what a good agent will do. I've said this before. If you are getting some traction in comics, please, 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 please get a lawyer before you get an agent. Get somebody you trust on the contract side before you go down the path of an agent. An agent is somebody who will stroke your ego, because now I'm represented by somebody. You'll feel like you're in the big boy club. But in reality, a lawyer is going to be far better for you from a business perspective. An agent may fluff your ego. A lawyer may actually prevent you from getting into a terrible contract where you get screwed. Go for the lawyer. That's where you're going to be more successful. That's where you're going to, get a good return on your money. Because keep in mind, I should say, agents aren't free. Now, I know that statement, unfortunately, that statement is not 100%. Because as I have recently learned, several people in comics have agents that basically do not charge them. Now, that's a hell of a good deal, except that's also an indicator that you really don't have an agent. You kind of have a friend that's kind of helping you create a persona, but that's not really an agent. You pay an agent, or more often, or sometimes as often, you will give an agent a cut of what you make. So that's where it's mutually beneficial. The agent gets you a good deal, and then the agent takes some of it off the side. There are some cases where an agent, if you are very successful, if you're very good, then the agent won't charge you and won't take a percentage of your take either, but rather they're so well known and liked by publishers and people who have the money that they get their cash a different way. They get their cash basically from the companies that they are able to connect to you. That's very, very rare. But in some cases, this is where you'll get companies that know to go to somebody because they can just snap their fingers and bring top tier talent. But that's in comics. I'm not even sure that exists in comics. I know that there's a couple situations where that exists in Hollywood, but not so. I doubt it exists in comics. The key point here is you don't really need an agent. It can be very helpful if you have somebody who will negotiate on your behalf, do big things. But if you're starting out on your career, what you really need is a lawyer. You need somebody who's going to give you good advice. You need somebody who's going to kind of look out for your interests. That could be an agent, but it could be other things as well. Again, it could be something as simple as you have a lawyer that has some business acumen who can also help you look. Many lawyers, by the way, will look over your contract and can also tell you where you could do better or where you want to negotiate things. I would argue this: if you are in comics, this is the best advice I could give you, and you're thinking about what kind of help you need. Number one, go get yourself a financial advisor, not a lawyer, not an agent. Get a financial advisor. Why? Well, that person actually will be a great assistant to helping you find good legal representation, unless you just know where to go. A good financial advisor can actually point you to good legal resources and good representation, good agents, and can help you get somebody who's not going to screw you. They're also going to teach you ways not to blow your money. And generally, you can step into getting a financial advisor for next to nothing. That's a role where there's many services out there that will take very little of your money. I mean, I've seen places as cheap as $50 a year that will help manage your money and will help find you the right places. And yes, they do get paid on commission and other things long term. They need their money too, but it's going to be a better goal for you. And they can definitely, unless you know where to go, they can help find you people that aren't going to screw you. And they're motivated to do that because if they're helping you manage your money, they know how much money you have. And so they're not going to recommend somebody who's going to bleed you dry, because that would be self-defeating for both of you. But anyway, that's just some piece of advice. One last thing, what does an agent not do? An agent is not supposed to fuck you. So, if you have an agent and your agent, is interested in fucking you, and I don't mean this metaphorically, I mean, with their penis, then you probably don't have a good agent. Just also, that's not the purpose of an agent. That's a very different service that you're getting there. But so it's kind of weird that I have to say it like that. But you know, I was talking to a friend. It's like, I think all my agent wanted to do was sleep with me. I'm like, huh? Well, you made a bad choice. I, I mean, yeah, that's a terrible decision you made there. Anyway, there you go. Do you need an agent? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And thanks for listening.